Aloha guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about benefits of being a military dependent. So of course with anything there's pros and cons to being in the military, being a dependent, being a spouse, being a girlfriend, being a child of someone in the military. But there are quite a few benefits, and I'm just going to go over some general ones that I find a lot of people can take advantage of, and then there's some other benefits that I personally enjoy. All right, so let's get started. So one of the most important things is free medical insurance and free or affordable dental insurance. For most people, having health insurance is one of the most important things in the world. Like when you get a job, you want to know what kind of benefits you're gonna get, and specifically what kind of medical insurance. Anything can happen at any time, and you want to make sure that you're covered, especially if you have children. Medical insurance can be super expensive, whether your job gives you a discounted price on insurance, or if you have to pay for private insurance, if you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business, something like that. But luckily, the military gives you 100% free health insurance through TRICARE. There are a few different TRICARE plans that you can get, but I'm just gonna be brushing over the free healthcare insurance that you can get through TRICARE. So, me personally, I don't really go to the doctors that often. I'm a pretty healthy person. The only times I really go to the doctor is to give birth to my children. So although that's really all that I go for, it still helps out so much. All the appointment visits, there's no copay. I didn't have this huge medical bill after giving birth to both my children, so it's pretty nice. As far as dental insurance goes, it varies based upon where you are. So for instance, I was in Japan the first time I ever experienced any military life, and I didn't go to a dental clinic off base. I just stayed on base. I don't know if that's the only option I had, but that's what I ended up doing. And with that, I was able to go to the dentist for free. I didn't have to pay anything ever. But there was a catch, and I could only go to the dentist for a cleaning during the month of my sponsor's birthday. So my month for getting a cleaning was February. It's kind of interesting, but that's how it is. So that's one benefit, medical and dental insurance. Now that we live in Hawaii, we have to get dental insurance through TRICARE, and it's a monthly fee. I think it's like $30-something that comes out of my husband's paycheck each month, and we are able to go anywhere on island that accepts TRICARE dental insurance. So my kids go to a pediatric dental clinic, and then I go to a different dental clinic. My son's appointments have been $5, and one other checkup was free. There was no copay at all. And then my visits have been completely free as well. So the second benefit is shopping at the Commissary and the Exchange. Shopping at the Commissary and Exchange can be really helpful when you're on a budget. The food and the items are supposed to be cheaper than what is available to civilians. That's not always the case, but for the most part, it is cheaper to shop at the Commissary and the Exchange. When we were stationed in Japan, I didn't do much shopping at the Commissary unless I had coupons, which I was a big couponer when I was in Japan, but that's really it. And the produce wasn't that great because everything has to be shipped. Everything has to be USDA certified, and who knows what else. So they're getting all these products from Mexico and the US, but it's gotta come from those places all the way to Japan. Then it has to sit at the docks. You know the process. So my husband and I just shopped off base mostly. We did a lot of shopping at Costco and at local grocery stores and just wherever. Even farmers markets, those are great. And it was cheaper. Produce, specifically produce, at the Commissary in Japan was way too expensive. No thanks. And I heard that a lot of people would buy the produce and then a day later it'd be completely rotten. I really don't understand that, but yeah. Being able to shop at the exchange is good too. They usually have a lot of clothing, shoes, toiletries, things like that. The third benefit of being a military dependent is getting discounts at random places. So when you're out and about, you might see signs on establishment windows that say military discounts or ask about our military special. And it really doesn't hurt to ask what they are. I know sometimes some people are like, oh, I'm kind of ashamed to ask for a military discount, but I really don't see a problem in doing it. Here in Hawaii, we have something called the Kama'aina discount. So if you're from here or if you have a Hawaii state ID or driver's license, depending on where you are, you can get a Kama'aina discount. And sometimes it saves a lot of money. So I have no shame in asking for a military discount. You can get a military discount at restaurants, amusement parks, sporting goods stores, all kinds of places. The fourth benefit of being a military dependent is the educational and career advancement opportunities. I wasn't familiar with this program when I first got into the whole military lifestyle. It's called MyCAA, and what that stands for is Military Spouse Career Advancement Accounts. They offer up to $4,000 for spouses of members who are E1 through E5, W1 to W2, and O1 to O2. This is a grant that they give you for you to receive a license or a certificate or an associate's degree of some sort. Now, it does have to be from a certain location or program that obviously takes this grant. So you can't just go to any university or community college or program and say, I have the MyCAA grant that I want to use. They might not know what that is. So there is a list, and I'm going to leave that link in the description box so you can go and check that out. So in addition to the MyCAA grant, there is also the GI Bill that you can take advantage of, whether you're a spouse or a child. So the GI Bill is a set amount of money that you can use to do a lot of things, but mainly like go to school. And depending on how much the tuition is at the university, your schooling could be quite inexpensive, possibly free. This money is for the sponsor, but the sponsor can transfer it to a dependent. And if the sponsor gets out of the military, there is a window of 15 years for someone else to get it from the sponsor and to use it. All right, so now these are some of my personal favorite benefits of being a military dependent. So, number one, we have travel. If you didn't know by now, I love to travel. Love it, love it, love it. I'm always looking at airline tickets or destinations across the world, and I'm always like, babe, how about this? Can we go here? How about Thailand? How about this? Ooh, Italy. I'm just always thinking of somewhere to go. And I love making connections with people across the world, keeping in touch with them over the years. I've always loved doing that. I had a pen pal in France when I was in high school, and then I actually got to meet her after I graduated college. So I just love traveling and experiencing different cultures, things like that. So You might think it's obvious, okay, you're always going to travel when you're in the military from state to state or country to country, but there's something else that you can take advantage of as far as traveling goes when you are a military dependent. There is something called Space A flights. Space A flights are flights when the military, certain groups are going on missions, and if there is extra room on the aircraft, they will post it up on the page, normally a Facebook page. That's as far as I've seen. Or they have it at the passenger terminal, and it'll have a list of the destinations for, I believe, up to 3 to 5 days. They'll have a tentative schedule, and it'll say how many seats are available on the flight, where it's going, and what time roll call is. Roll call being what time you need to be there to see if you actually got a spot on the flight. So I have taken advantage of Space A before. I've traveled on Space A maybe 3 times total. I went from Japan to Washington State, Japan to Hawaii and California, and also Hawaii directly to Tampa, Florida. It is kind of tricky when you're first trying to figure out Space A traveling, but once you get it down, it's pretty easy. It can be a little annoying, but as long as you have the free time and you're really flexible with your travel dates, it's a really great thing to take advantage of as a military dependent. The second thing that I love about being a military spouse is that we have the Military Spouse Preference Program. So I used to work at an elementary school on the air base in Japan, and because I'm a spouse, I was bumped higher in the hiring process. I'm really not even sure that anyone applied for the position that I applied for, but I got the job almost immediately. When applying for a position with the Department of Defense, it's the same process as applying for any other job. The only difference is these jobs are pretty much open to the entire world. Of course, you have to be qualified for that specific position, but anyone in the world, basically, who is qualified for that position and wants to apply can. So I know a lot of people think, oh, I'm a military spouse, I won't be able to get a job. It's too hard to find a job. I'm only gonna be here for 2 to 3 years, maybe 4. So I'm just not even gonna look for a job. It's pointless. But it's not pointless, and you can get a job. The Military Spouse Preference Program works in your advantage. So let's use my job as an example. Let's say there were 2 people, me and someone else from anywhere. They could live in Japan, they could live in Arkansas for all I care. So we're both applying for this teaching position. This person in Arkansas has all the qualifications, meets all the requirements, is good to go, really should get hired if there's only 1 spot available for this person. But this person from Arkansas is a single person, no affiliation with the military whatsoever, just wants to apply for this job to have the opportunity to teach children overseas. Now me, on the other hand, I'm not choosing to come to Japan. I'm not choosing to leave my life behind technically. I have to leave. I have to move to Japan because I have to follow my husband with his career. So because of that, I get to use the Military Spouse Preference Program in my favor. I have the same qualifications, I meet the same requirements, I am just as qualified as the person in Arkansas, but because I am a spouse, the DoD is going to choose me over the person in Arkansas because I am a spouse and I fall under the Military Spouse Preference Program. I highly encourage you guys to apply for Department of Defense jobs if there are any in your area and you want to work. I know a lot of people feel that they're giving up their career and a lot of other things when they join their husbands, you know, on this journey for their career, but you don't have to feel like that. You can still go to school, you can still get a job. And with the Military Spouse Preference Program, as well as MyCAA, or using the GI Bill, there are so many opportunities for you out there. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed those benefits that I have learned throughout the years. I hope there was something helpful in there for you, something encouraging. If you guys have any other things you'd like to share, leave it in the comments below and I would love to see what you guys have to say. So until then, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Aloha, ahui ho.